Uh, Trying to shape vision to see what you find. Try to woo.
I think it was early this year is when I started, writing. And so I do spoken word. And so it started off as just like an expression of an emotion that I was feeling that I couldn't articulate in words because there was just too much pain. There was too much like heaviness. It was like, how do I articulate something that has been a part of my life for like plus 20 years? So when I first started it, to me, it was actually me speaking to younger version of me and saying the things that I never really heard growing up. Because as a young Black girl, Black boy, you're told all of these different things about who you are. And so it was me talking to a younger version of myself, but then it was also embodying all of the other people that suffer and go through things and are dealing with issues with race and how that affects their mental health and how that affects their trauma and all of these different things. And so it was embodying a whole ecosystem of emotions and feelings when it comes to the issues of racism and oppression and discrimination and, trying to figure out how do I talk about this. So yeah.
So how does the story of Sarah Baartman kind of fit into all that?
It just put certain things into perspective of like why certain things exist now. Why do we see things the way that we see things now? Why is the Black body viewed in a certain type of way? Where does that come from? Why are, Black female bodies overly sexualized? This still affects how people view Black bodies, female bodies. And we need to talk about it. Like this shouldn't be, something that's like put under the rug. This is like a hidden story, which is, the title of the song. And so it hit home because I was like, that could have been me. I just felt like, I don't know how to articulate this in words because it's too painful. So I'm gonna do what I can do creatively and make a song. Because sometimes a song is like, I don't want to say a nicer way of saying things, but you can kind of get away with saying a lot of different things that most people might not digest if you're just speaking the words. And so it's like, all right, let's make it into a song. Let's make it something creative, which again pays homage to, people when they were, being oppressed and going through slavery, they would sing. That's what they would do to get through different things. So it was my only outlet to express something that was too traumatic, personal to talk about. There's a part of the song where basically I'm talking about this metaphor of like how in many different representations, someone is always viewed as the savage, right? There's someone that's always viewed as the villain, the person that's like seen in a bad, dark light. And usually it's the person who is considered to be part of like a minority group or somebody who is, a person of color, like whatever it is, right? Why are you presenting people of color as like these like animals and ravenous people, but you're not looking at what was done to people? You're not looking at the bloodshed that happened and the murder and the rape and all of these different things that are horrendous. So it's like, why is there a weird equilibrium there that isn't equal? So if I make you believe something is below, you're not going to care about this person that died or this person that went missing or that because it doesn't have the same value. And so it's like, why is it that when we hear stories, we're so like surprised and we're like, whoa, I didn't even know that happened. It's like, why were you actually not told about a very real story? Why was there intention to hide truth? What's going on there? It is interesting because, again, when I made the song, I didn't even know it was going to be a song because I thought it was just going to be like words on a piece of paper, spoken word. And even the beat, like it just kind of came and I just kind of, because I already am very aware of the fact that I have a very interesting tone in my voice. And so I just said, okay, let's explore how I could make this into a rap because the rhythm itself didn't exist. The flow and the melodicness, that didn't exist. It was very like, staccato and kind of plain. And so I was kind of experimenting with this beat. And it just kind of naturally happened.
Is there any audience in particular that you really wanted to affect?
I did have that in mind when I was making the song. You may not reach everybody, but that's not why you create. That's not why you design. And so for me, I was like, I'm being vulnerable, not necessarily for everybody, but for the person that is also experiencing the trauma and doesn't know how to articulate what they're going through because they're in a, maybe an ecosystem that doesn't understand what they're talking about. But then also for those people that have been doing the work to educate themselves and to really say like, no, like I stand with you, I'm encouraging you. I may not understand, but I want to grow more. I know that there's going to be some young person that's going to see this and be like, this isn't right, this is not okay. And those are the people I really want to, be like, hey, this is a hidden story. Learn, grow, educate yourself. Like after really like making the song, I realized that I was never given the opportunity to express myself on that topic because it was so easier for those around me to like not hear my truth because it would make other people feel uncomfortable. You almost normalize what is incorrect because no one's really saying, hey, can you speak on this thing and can we do something about it? It's just like, that's not an issue because I don't see it. Like, it's like if you talk about something that's pro-Black, for some reason, certain people assume that that means you're anti-white. And it's like, that's actually not what it means. To be, pro about something, it's actually not because I'm anti-you. It's because I'm standing up for everything that's anti-me. And so it's actually not about you. So the offense, you have to kind of figure out why is that there? Because I'm actually not attacking you. I'm discussing what is attacking me. And no one's really asking you to like understand. But the first step is listening. The Black woman's value has always been tied to her sexuality. That's actually the ideology that has been presented to you, right? So it's like, yeah, we can view Black women, but only if they're tied to some kind of sexualized thing. How do you break something like that? Can I fault someone who does things to their body? Like, can I really? No, because this is the world we live in. People are trying to, make money. People are trying to, present themselves the best way that they can, and it sucks. And I think I could never tell another Black woman how to live her life, how to express herself, how to do whatever. And I would never do that. If I'm talking to, other maybe like Black girls or boys who are around my age and are, I don't know, maybe they're athletes or maybe they're whatever. It's just like, know your power, know your worth, know your value. Like I went my whole life believing a certain thing about myself, right? Because of what society was telling me, when in reality, it's like, no, we come from kings and queens. Like we're like God's creation. We're glorious. We're beautiful. And it ties into that song by Common, The Way We Move. It's like when we do something, the whole world moves along too, which is true. So it's like, if people are copying us, why they're not valuing us? So just know your worth, know your value, and celebrate your Blackness. Let's celebrate that, and don't be ashamed or afraid to be who you are, your hair, your skin, whatever. Like, you are meant to be you. The world might not receive it, but like, it is valuable. That's what I would say.
Take an image, manipulate it. They try to damage, say that you the savage, They say you different, say that you can't have it, and this a habit, rooted in the